Okay. Just give us one moment, guys. I'm making sure everything is good to go on my end.
You have some background noise.
Okay. Just give me one sec. How about now? Everything good?
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Give me one moment. Yeah, let me hop back in here. Okay. So you know what? Because, speaking with everyone, we essentially have a very small community right now. I know we're gonna be recording this and posting this later. We thought that we should just kind of do a quick Q&A with everyone. And if essentially there are a lot of questions because we are a new protocol. We're thinking that oh, you know what? Let me just close this out real quick. Yeah, we just thought that a Q&A would be a lot better just to clear the air and clear up any misconceptions that anyone has. Or, if there's any underlying questions, we can start there. So yeah, Daddy Panda, if you wanna kick us off with some questions, man.
Yeah, so for all the newcomers and everyone's coming along, if you could just explain the project we're doing here, and get a feel for why is this not a scam, how is this going to work, etc. If you could give us the layout of how this is all going to work, that'd be great.
No, absolutely. So, one thing that oh, you know what? I just want to also specify, this Q&A will be posted. So for other people who are coming in, for the future investors coming in, they can definitely check this Q&A out, and then as we progress, it'll be a lot better, and things will become more clear. But to give you a brief idea as to how this project came about, and why we chose to essentially do this. My entire team got into crypto, I would say, about 4 to 5 years ago. Some of us went into mining, with the whole GPUs, with the RTX 3080s, some of the 2070s, and some ASIC miners. I know my brother is a big crypto miner. And then one of the biggest things that actually really got us into crypto was these node protocols in the DeFi space. So I think the first protocol that we got into was Strong Block. Through Strong, we had invested in Thor, we invested in Power. Oh, and what's it called? Ring Financial. God, that was a fiasco. And essentially, what happened was, the idea was great, the abstract was great. When we read the white paper, everything seemed fine. And we were relatively new to the crypto space. And we said, you know what? These guys are, hopefully more experienced than we are in this field. This might work. And I'm not going to say that I didn't make a considerable killing off of Strong. Obviously, I did. But the thing is, a lot of us in our adventure, we care about passive income, consistent, realistic passive income. So, when all these protocols started to fail, and we saw the collapse of Strong from, I think I remember buying in at like 400, it appreciating to $1,000, and I think it's sitting at $2 or $3 now. Thor sitting at $1 or $2 now. Oh, even Hive. The biggest problem was that they just gave unrealistic ROIs, and for me, the greed kicks in, and I think that's how they got a lot of people in the very beginning, was the absolute greed. You throw $1,000 in, and you're gonna get $1,000 back in 2 to 3 months, and it's gonna keep on going and going and going. That's not realistic. I spoke with Kumar when we first got into this, And Kumar is an average day trader. He's one of the few men that I know that have actually successfully moved themselves out of the standard working situation and actually has become quite successful just day trading. And he'll tell you straight up, you're probably on a good day, 2 to 3%, 10% per month. And when I was telling him, like, no, they're giving you, 100% back in your first 3 months. So you get your ROI in, 2 to 3 months. He just looked at me and said that's impossible even by crypto's standard. Yes, it's extremely volatile and you can capitalize on that, but it's not realistic at any point in time. So I kind of just got fed up after years of getting into these node projects and sometimes making my ROI, sometimes being fully scammed. And I said, let's kind of change the game. Let's create an actual node system that genuinely works, that these people can invest in and receive an income for not 3 months or 6 months or a year, but for 10 and 15 and 25 years. So we decided to actually sit down with each other and kind of bring down all our expertise and said, real estate is one of the biggest game changers, and the best flips in the entire world is residential development or commercial development. And we own quite a bit of land. Our real estate portfolio is quite extensive, and we came up with the idea that we can create prefabricated homes. Now, we tried this model before in two other countries. We just built like 3 or 4 houses on an acre of land, divided up the plot, and then sold them. And we made an absolute sizable profit on it. And I said, well, we can definitely scale this. And Colony has bigger and brighter plans. I do have like the next 3 to 4 projects kind of lined up as to what we're going, and this is relatively small for what we're planning to do. But this essentially goes into you can use the DeFi space and create an actual node. You can use it for real world trading assets. You can use it for day trading. The next project it's going to utilize a little bit of mining and a little bit of day trading in the project. But this one we kind of wanted to just keep it simple. We have a very solid connect in Shandong, China, and they're going to be building us our modular homes. They, on average, I think they're costing us between $15,000 and $20,000. When we accounted for, laying down the foundation and getting the city lines to come in for each home, and it roughly costs like $3,200 to $5,000. Each of those homes will sell for 225 to 250,000. Now we are in talks with some real estate companies to buy out the majority of the homes, obviously at a discounted price. So instead of selling it for 240, 245, we'll probably just sell it for 180 flat and sell the whole lot of 50. And yeah, that's essentially what like the project itself is like what it essentially means and how we're planning to proceed. And like the one thing that I also wanted to state and just completely be upfront, because I know a lot of protocols don't tell you how the developers plan to make money. And when you go into like when you look at Strong and Thor and all these other, they never really tell you how they're going to be making their money. Or how like the developers are gonna make it. They always tell you straight up, oh, you guys are gonna make so much money. You guys are gonna make thousands upon thousands of dollars. But they never really answer the question, how are we as developers gonna make money? Because why would you create such a big protocol and not profit off of it, right? So for us, if you check in on our white paper, we're very upfront. What's going to happen with all these properties is we're going to charge a essentially like a condo fee. So we'll have maintenance around the building, someone to come cut the grass, clear the driveways and all those things, and just generally keep the area looking relatively nice. And we will generally profit off of that, and our expected profit is $15,000 to $20,000 a month. This will actually be both on the homes that are for sale and the rental homes. And essentially, what's going to happen is, again, this is referring back to the white paper. When these homes go up for sale, everyone who purchased an NFT will typically get 4 to 5x on their initial investment, and then roughly 80% every year in rental income. Now, depending on what NFT you have, will kind of depend on the rental income that you get. Um, Now, one thing I actually said that we did not specify, and I should specify this, is that the rental income or the passive income that you do generate from this protocol, it does vary because the assessment was based on the homes fully rented, and everyone's kickback. But if you have a month where 5 people leave or 6 people leave, that will impact the profitability. But that's why we have a property management company overseeing all these things. And it will be that same property management company that we own that will be taking care of everything. So, if you guys are losing rent, we're also losing a condo fee. So, we're essentially keeping our hands with each other at all times. We're constantly working with each other in this project. And yeah, that's about it. Oh, and then you know what? Someone actually came up with a very good question yesterday. They asked me what would happen if all the NFTs didn't sell out, and what would essentially happen to what will happen to the protocol, and what would happen to Colony Finance. And realistically speaking, the team here has more than enough to cover almost like the entire expense, without question. And the whole scheme of this, realistically speaking, is I want to get Colony off the ground because Project 4 and Project 5 will actually be us building a condominium. But the thing is, you can't start off a project and ask for 100,000 people to come in at $100. You know what I'm saying? It's very unrealistic. And for us, we kind of just want to build ourselves there. We want to start with something very small that we could definitely handle, and kind of get this project out there because a successful project speaks volumes. You can preach, you can talk, you can say whatever you want. At the end of the day, if your project does exactly what it says it does, that right there speaks volumes. That right there is its own marketing. Oh, 1 second, my screen just went black. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's essentially the project in a nutshell. Um, yeah, and I'd also like to quickly add in a lot of these people who invest in these DeFi projects. They always forget to ask the question. Well, are these guys rich? Like, have they ever actually legitimately made $1 million themselves? They know the work that the work and the risk and the component of luck that comes into genuinely making money. A lot of these guys, when you see them beforehand, don't have a dollar to their name. Mind you, fantastic programmers, absolutely fantastic programmers. But you can have a wonderful program if you don't know how to sell it. It's dead water. So the main question here too was, and this is where I've also been at fault. A lot of these protocols that we invested claim to, I've heard the phrase, "We're all gonna have Lamborghinis. We're all gonna." Does the developer behind this project even have a Lamborghini or a yacht? Oh, are there exceptions to this rule? Absolutely. You can look at Vitalik Buterin and gentlemen like that who've built, ecosystems. And those are very rare situations when you look at the whole entire crypto space. So we really need to kind of dress back, and a component of this DeFi protocol is to also educate people. You need to really question the protocols that you walk into. Yeah, no, by all means. If I hopefully I answer your question. If not, let me know. And if I did, then we can move on to the next question.
Yeah, that should hopefully open it up. And in the background here, as I'm recording, I'm showing them the white paper and the homepage. So you did mention that the team itself, you guys can buy out all of those NFTs. So what is stopping you guys from buying out all of those NFTs or half of them and just making a huge profit off of that and leaving us low guys out for nothing? What is the difference in? I noticed how you brought up how, in my words, that this isn't a pyramid scheme, whereas someone like Strong and other cryptos like that, those were most certainly pyramid schemes. I mean, people need to put money in for you to get money, and as you can see, it doesn't work out. So this
Absolutely.
crypto is based off of real life assets, which is amazing. But really, I guess my question is of that.
Okay, so that's an excellent question, and I'll dive into that by saying um, the the realistic approach and where people should genuinely start to worry is in project 4, not project 4 or project 5. And the reason why is because while yes we are all millionaires, we're not multimillionaires. We don't have castles around the world. We just have a sizable portfolio. I think Paul has the highest portfolio of 8.4 million. And when we combine our wealth together, it's not enough to build a condo. And that's kind of always been our dream, like for all of us. And I essentially want to get that going and see, because that's where the real money starts. When you start getting into condo development, that is huge. The profit margins are insane. Every unit typically costs between $30,000 and $60,000. I live in a city where the average cost of a condo for like the smallest studio apartment is $600,000-$700,000, and they're building it at thirty to $60,000 per unit. Um, so essentially, the whole idea behind this project, the first one, is because we can back it and we plan to back it, just because we know how marketing works. We understand all those components for it. But essentially, our main goal is to just get this first project out the way, so that we can actually achieve our higher dream. Our higher goal, this is like a small way to kind of just get into the market, get ourselves out there, um, get people aware, because like I said, a successful project speaks volumes. Everyone will be able to attest, everyone will be able to see that this project is working. It'll change how nodes work. Hopefully this 30-day 90-day ROI bullshit will stop. um, they can give people realistic returns, and people will be comfortable with that, because you keep hearing all these node product protocols fail. um, I kind of want to show people, like, okay, give them a realistic ROI, have solid investments set up, break down your investments, um, and, genuinely help people out. I think everyone is always interested in passive income. Listen, I would invest 1,000 to make $20 a month. I may not see it in the first 5 years, but I know that after that I'm good to go. But essentially, this project is small enough where we don't even have to bat an eye between the four of us, when it comes to funding, which was a very big part for us. Same with project 2. Project 3 will be a little bit iffy. We'll definitely, it'll take quite a bit of our actual capital to get it off the ground, should it not be successful. But kind of mitigate all those possibilities, we decided to go with a project that, right off the bat, if I close my eye, I could just write a quick check and have the entire thing completed.
Okay. So if I were to spend $250 and get a bronze NFT, I'm looking at the white paper right now. It says 250 USDT. Availability, there's 2,000. Now keep in mind, everybody, there are 20 of them, I believe, that are already bought for giveaways and tournaments, etc. However, for the rewards, approximately 1,000 to 1,250. So if I spent 250 today, when would I expect my return back?
It's an excellent question. So essentially, this is going to take about 6 months for us to build. So one thing that I actually do want to touch base on, and one thing that we here have been speaking about, um, people will most likely want to see the deed for the land. And I'm absolutely, 100% behind showing it, but there are some security concerns. So we're kind of just seeing how we can kind of show the deed and redact certain information so that no one really, no one can kind of copy the deed and sell the land, or do anything like that. When land is actually purchased and it's fully paid for, you are more susceptible to fraud. People actually believe that, like for us, actually, we have tiny mortgages, like very, very tiny mortgages on all our properties. We're talking like 30 or $40,000, where our monthly payments are like $300 to $400. The two reasons behind these things are, it allows us to claim these properties, and it's for tax purposes. And the second reason is there's no way for someone to come and forge a deed and sell your property, because the banks will get involved. And at the end of the day, the two greatest industries in the world with the greatest lawyers are the insurance companies and the banks. You cannot mess with their lawyers. It's literally impossible. Um, so we are figuring out a way to essentially, view the deed so everyone can see it, and kind of satisfy everyone's mind in that aspect, and kind of move forward with this entire thing.
Okay, so what is stopping you guys from buying the houses, building the houses tomorrow? Is it we need to sell the NFTs? We need people to get in and purchase those for the funding of it? What is stopping you from doing that tomorrow?
So the thing is, um, if we start to generate, like, let me give you a scenario that will most likely happen. If half the NFTs, are sold within the next 2 to 3 months, and the other half remain there, yeah, we will purchase them, or we can just leave them open. But we would increase the floor price, because at that point there is no point in uh, having people coming in purchase the NFTs, because they can just buy the reward, and flip it the next day. If they know that the homes will be sold in a month, they could buy in a month before. So the two things that we're thinking about either doing is increasing the floor price as the progress starts to expand, or just completely wiping it off the board, and we will claim 50% of the profit, and 50% of the rent, which absolutely is completely fine for us.
Okay, and the next question is, are these NFTs going to be tradable or swappable?
Yes. So the thing about this is, we are actually investing close to $7 million. Now I'm not allowed to. Well, I don't think I'm not allowed to. But one of them is on a gasless blockchain. Um, we are in talks right now, in purchasing part ownership, and essentially, this would give us access to a complete gasless blockchain later down the line as Colony expands. Um, just, you know what? Give me 1 second, buddy. I think I can get gentleman to come in. Oh no, he's still having difficulty. Let me get back over here. Perfect.
Okay, so
I apologize. I had a brain fart.
oh yeah,
So yeah. So what's gonna happen is we essentially started on the Ethereum network, and as Colony progresses, and as soon as basically the offers are finalized, and all the letters are drafted up, we will be switching over to the new chain. And the site will be completely revamped. We'll get a NFT shop and everything going with it, for trading and that whole shebang. But realistically speaking, I do see, like, I do believe a lot of people will trade or want to trade later on, and I want to make this absolutely clear. Aside from the passive income, which a lot of people would love to get into, the only utility behind this NFT, and again, this is beside the rental income and the one-time payout. The only utility realistically is that by purchasing this NFT, you are guaranteed a spot to purchase in the next protocol. The next project that we do, because you purchased one, you're allowed to buy one NFT. Um, and if you purchase two, vice versa, you'll be able to purchase another two NFTs, of similar ranking.
okay, and that was going to be a next question here I have wrote down. So we're currently on the Ethereum blockchain. What is to come progressing wise? Are we going to stay on Ethereum? I don't know if you can go too depth in the gasless blockchain, but it seems like real world NFTs backed up by real world property, we'll say, going on a gasless blockchain.
What's your question essentially?
So the question was, what blockchain are we on? Are we going to switch, etc.? And you kind of already
Yeah,
answered that, but
yeah.
just to clarify.
Yeah, so like I said, we're on the Ethereum blockchain right now. We do have plans to move over, and another thing too, that people don't probably don't know, is depending on the size of your protocol, you can actually get hit with fees, um, and, like, maintenance for being on that network. Um, So for me, the reason why we're investing now at such a low time is because in the long run, I know protocols that spend $50,000 and $60,000 a month in maintenance. But when you add that up, that is a substantial amount at the end of the year. And if your protocol can genuinely last, it shouldn't have 500,000 to $1 million in expenses just for being on a network. So by us investing 5 million with the gasless blockchain, it allows us to grow at an exponential rate without having to worry about the maintenance behind this. Keeping this protocol kind of self-sufficient is our entire goal. Not to mention, in this $5 million deal, um, we will most likely see a very large return by the end of this year. So it's like I said, it's in talks right now. There's two other protocols that we've actually looked into. One of them is an American company that will be looking at purchasing homes with cryptocurrency. So we have we're in talks with essentially purchasing a part ownership with that as well, because I do genuinely believe that DeFi or crypto as itself will kind of shake up the financial system and how we view things, and these are components that will solve a lot of problems. So, one second. I apologize. One of the community managers for a project that we're investing in just reached out to me. Um, but yeah, so essentially, I do have a little bit of foresight as to what's going to happen, and instead of us having all these expenses moving forward, and it coming out of my pocket, and coming out, like essentially coming out from the property management company, the project will become less profitable. So to avoid all those things, I'm kind of just setting up a one-time payment to all these companies, buying into them, so that in the long run, this will be successful not just for me but for everyone on here. It'll make everything a lot more user friendly and profitable, absolutely more profitable, because I think eventually, like, here's the thing: if it got to the point where we're spending $100,000 a month, we would reduce, like, the obvious and honest answer is we would reduce the profits that everyone would receive. If it's to take a dollar from everybody, if everyone's getting $10, we'd reduce it to nine and take a dollar from everybody and spend it. But to avoid situations like that, we're kind of setting ourselves up for success by investing right now.
Okay, that is awesome. Last question I had, I just drew a brain fart. Um, Shoot. Okay, yes, I remember. What are we or you guys going to do for marketing and trying to push this? And what are the timelines for that? Are you going to start tonight? Are you going to start a week from now? What are your goals? How do you intend to get the reach out here?
So, like I mentioned earlier, we're not new to this entire space. If you were to check out a few of our partners here, we have very thorough investment backgrounds. A lot of projects know us. A lot of credible projects know us, and we're kind of reaching out to them to essentially start, just kind of showcasing us, let them know that, first of all, we're a very credible source. Um, feel welcome to invest. Kind of let them check out their white paper and all that stuff. And this is just through the protocols. We also have a few YouTubers that are going to be kind of doing an AMA with us over the course of this month into next month. And yeah, we're kind of just going to get the word out there. But the one thing I also want to mention is, I believe the total amount is only 4,250. I think there's only 4,250 NFTs. So it's not like a typical node project where there's an infinite amount. There's a set amount, and there's a reason why. When we did all the costs behind this project, we finalized everything and kind of broke it up. So there's not like an infinite supply. There's a set supply, and as this set supply, sells out, that's it. The project starts. There are also kind of timelines on our part, and they have nothing to do with the NFT sales. So by, I believe, It is the middle of April. We will be ordering all the homes, and then at the end of April, we'll begin construction. So essentially, all the foundations will be built. We'll get the city to come in and start running their lines, so that by the time we receive the shipment in May, we could start building. Because what we really want to do is catch that summer rush. That summer rush in the Caribbean, house prices skyrocket, and they're very easy to sell. You get a lot of couples that come in, they fall in love with the place. They want to stay there. You get older couples who just they're ready to retire. Who doesn't love beach and sand and wonderful food, and essentially, like, that's the kind of market that we want to hit right off the bat. So we want to catch this at its peak. So yeah, regardless of NFT sales, we do have timelines on our parts. So like I would say, in about 2 to 2.5 months, if the NFTs don't sell, we're still going to move forward with this entire project.
Okay, so final question. Where, if you can give a not necessarily exact location, where is the property going to be for these homes? Where are they going to be at? Are they the United States, Canada? Is it the Caribbean like you were talking?
It is the Caribbean, and to be very honest with you, it's in the Bahamas. And the reason why it's in the Bahamas is because it's one of my favorite places in the world. It is. I personally own a condo down there, and I stay there, at least 2 months out of the year. I believe it's in May. We're all going to be heading down there, um, and we're going to be staying there for the next like 3 to 4 months. Um, yeah, so the location is in the Bahamas, but I haven't given away the exact city, or I think they call them parishes. Not yet,
For
but I do
privacy.
believe yeah. But as soon as we kind of get that whole privacy, how to redact the entire thing but still show relative information, we should have the deeds posted by the end of next week.
Okay, awesome. That was all the questions that I had, or I could run off the top of my head. Is there any closing statements you would like to add?
Um, Honestly speaking, for the people that are listening to this, I hope that you take a look at the white paper, and I want you to see that we have a very good existing model. The numbers kind of speak for itself. This is very realistic. As we move forward, uh, you guys will also have to play a part. It's not just invest and walk away. Well, essentially you can, but when it comes to components, like, how are we going to do the landscaping? We're going to give you guys 4 options to choose from, and we're going to let everyone vote. When it comes to this decision of the house, there's 5 different types of homes that are kind of within our budget, and we're going to allow the community to pick what homes do they want to build and the landscaping that goes with it. So if you guys are interested in actually making real passive income, invest with Colony, and please remember that the original node was always real estate.
All right. Well, that wraps up our
Oh
first
yeah.
AMA with Colony Investments. If you guys did like this video, like, subscribe for more. As well as if you had any questions, I will link the Discord in the description below. And feel free to comment them or join our Discord and join the Colony Finance or Colony Investments community. We'd love to have you and read the white paper. I will also leave that in the description below. Excuse me.
All right. Well, Daddy Panda, thank you for having me. It was wonderful to have you on for the first Q&A.